Money is the traitor, and woman is the companion of the traitor. Welcome to section 5 of chapter 21 of the Holy Quran, and it begins with sign 51. Namshi. وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ. We bestowed aforetime on Abraham his rectitude. Rectitude is rushdahu. Who is his rectitude is rushda. ومن قبل ركنا به عالمين. Sorry, I missed a line. When I say rectitude, it doesn't make sense. It's rectitude of conduct. وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ. His rectitude of conduct. I should have gone to the next line, but I didn't. So rectitude of conduct. من قبل ركنا به عالمين. ومن قبل ومن قبل وكنا به عالمين. ومن قبل وكنا به عالمين. So I didn't read it well because I again stopped on the way. I will take it again. وَلَقَدْ أَتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ. That's the aforetime. We bestowed aforetime min qablu on Abraham his rectitude, rushdahu. Wa kunna bihi alimin. Beautiful. This is the way I should have read it. Pardon me, viewers. Wa kunna bihi alimin. And well were we acquainted with him. I think these interpreters are doing very good work. I couldn't have interpreted it this way. I don't think I could. وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. And what's the interpretation? وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. What is the interpretation? And well were we acquainted with him. Commentary 2715. 2715. Commentary 2. No, it's rather commentary 2712. Pardon me, viewers, I say I have problem with my eyes. 2712. Oh yeah, I don't know if the lighting is not bright enough for me. 2712 commentary. Rushd is going to explain now. Rushd is going to be explained now. Ibrahim Rushdahu. So Rushd, the meanings are right conduct, corresponding in action to the quality expressed in epithet Hanif, into brackets, sound or true in faith, sound or true in faith, brackets close, applied to Abraham in chapter 2, Psalm 135, and elsewhere. That is the commentary to Psalm 51. We're going to Psalm 51. There is a second commentary, which is 27:1-3 to the same sign. What is it? 27:1-3. 27:1-3. It's against the word acquainted with him. It's against the words acquainted with him. 2713. Hence, Abraham's title, friend of God. Halilullah. Uh, Halilullah, friend of God. So God himself says he's well acquainted with Abraham. Very well acquainted with him. Like they are very close. Karibun. Mm, They are very well close. So he's been given the title Halilullah, friend of God. I don't know if this exists in Christianity. No, just say Abraham, Abraham, Abraham. Yes, I'm also saying Abraham. May God forgive me, but it should be radiallahu anhu, mm, or Prophet Abraham. Mm. Anyway, so for those of us who don't know, Abraham is given the title friend of God. Hallelujah. We are being referred to sign IV 121. That is, sorry, chapter IV sign 121. That's chapter 4, verse 1 to 5. Oh, we are being referred to IV 125. Mm? We've been referred to IV. We have been referred to IV 125, chapter 4, 125. We now go to the next sign, which is sign 52. What, is Kala لأبيه وقومه. Kala لأبيه وقومه. Behold, he said to his father and his people, Abihi وقومه. What did he say? ما هذه. No. ما هذه تماشل التي أنتم لها عاكفين. He said to him, ما هذه التم التماثل التماثل التي أنتم لها عاكفين. He said to his people, what are these images? Images. Atamathilu. Images. What are these images? Ma هذه. What are these images? Atamathilu. Allati antum laha akifin. To which ye are devoted. But before then, in brackets, to which ye are so assiduously devoted. That is in brackets. So assiduously is in brackets. Commentary 2714. 2714. A reference is made to Abraham in many places indeed. Indeed, in many places. In chapter 19, Psalm 42 to 49, it was with reference to his relations to his father. We've done that. Colon. The problem was how a righteous man should deal with his father, when his duty to his father conflicts with his duty to God. Oh my God. So this food for that for us. Is it father before God or God before father? That was the problem confronting Abraham or our great grandfather Abraham. Full stop. Here, the problem is, how a righteous man should deal with evil and overcome it, semicolon. How he should fight against evil, and if he is subjected to the fire of persecution, how his firmness draws God's mercy, And the very troubles he is placed in become his comfort and joy. He was placed in the fire and he was rather in comfort. Mm. They saw it as fire, it was hot, and they could feel the heat. They threw Abraham on top of the heap of firewood, and nothing happened to him. It was rather joy for him. It was rather comfort and joy for him. So indeed, he was a friend of Abraham. This is a narrative in the Quran for our Christian brothers mm, and sisters. And that was commentary 2714 to sign 52. We now go to sign 53. Kalu wajadna aba'ana laha abidin. Laha abidin. Worshiping. Kalu wajadna aba'ana laha abidin. They said, we found our fathers worshiping it. Abidin. We found our father worshiping it. Worshipping what? The image. Or worshipping them, pardon me. The images. Worshipping what? The images. They said, we found our fathers worshipping them. Pardon me. Worshipping what? The images that is talked about in Psalm 52. Tamathilu. Worshipping them. Tamathilu. No commentary to that. We go to Psalm 54. Let's hear Abraham's reaction. Kala lakat kuntum antum wa aba'akum fi dilalin mubin. Lakat kala lakat kuntum and antum wa aba'akum fi dilalin mubin. He said, who said? Abraham. He said, in inverted commas, indeed, ye have been in manifest error. Dash, ye and your fathers. Kuntum wa aba'akum. Kuntum wa aba'akum. Ye and your fathers. No commentary for that. Let's go straight to 55. To hear the other side. That's the father and his people, the unbelievers. Kalu ajiktina bilhaq am anta minalla'ibin. Kalu ajiktina bilhaq am anta minal-abidin. They said, have you brought us the truth? Ajitna bihaq. Have you ajitana bilhaq. Have you brought us the truth bilhaq? Or are you one of those who just lie being? One of those who just lie being? Like somebody who is not serious or joke player, lie being. Here, our honorable interpreters say those who just. J-E-S-T. Commentary 2715. 2715. 271. Abraham looked at life with a serious eye, and his people took it lightheartedly. Let's look at this. Are you joking? Are you making jest of us? Hmm? Okay. He was devoted to truth, and they cared more for ancestral custom. Viewers, do you blame them? Huh? Abraham was among them, and they didn't even believe him. They didn't take him serious. They didn't take him seriously. But he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. Mm. Uh, Ancestral custom, full stop. Uh, in the conflict, he seemed to be in their power, mm, but he was fearless. So, as somebody, they thought they had full control over him. He seemed to be in their power, but he was fearless, and he triumphed by God's grace. We now go to sign 56. Kala bal rabukum rabu samawati wal ardi. Kala bal rabukum rabu samawati wal ardi. He said, "Nay, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, samawati wal ardi." Allazi fatarahuna, allazi fatarahunna wa anna ala zalikum min ash-shahidin, wa ana ala zalikum min ash-shahidin. He said, "Nay, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. He, yes, he who created from nothing, in brackets, who created them, sorry, he who created them in brackets from nothing, and I am a witness to this truth." To this truth also in brackets. So from nothing is in brackets, truth is also in brackets. Let's try to read it without the brackets. Uh, he who created them, and I am a witness to this. So Abraham says he's a witness to this, to the creation of the heavens and the earth by God. Indeed, hallelujah, friend of God. All right. Uh, Commentary 2716. 2716. For the various words for creation, I think that's fatara, for creation, see note 120 to chapter 2, 117. So viewers may have to go back. No, chapter 2, I don't think we did it. We did it in the very last, very, very, very early videos. I think when it comes to the commentary, I started doing the commentary around maybe with chapter 7. Okay, note 120 to chapter 2, 117, where fatara is explained and differentiated from other words of similar meaning. All right, that was note 2716 to sign 56. We now go to sign 57. Wata'allahi la akidat asna akum. Wata'allahi la لأكيدت أصنعكم بعد أن بعد أن ت- بعد أن تولوا مدبرين بعد أن تولوا بعد أن تولوا مدبرين. He said, by God, ta'Allah, I will certainly plan against your idols. Hmm? لأكيدن plan لأكيدن أصنعهم أصنعكم your idols. Mm. After ye go away and turn your backs. After you go away and turn your backs. When they are out, they are not there. Yes, he will plan against the idols to see what the idols can do to him. So the things that you are worshiping, I'll plan against them. When you go out, I'll see what they maybe. Yeah, I think to see what the idols can do to him. Mm. Bagda and Tawallu, when you turn your back, Mudbirin. Commentary 2717. And in fact, this sign continues to the next sign, 58. But let's do that first. Because sign 57, you hear, after that, you hear, you see, which means it's not finished. It's finished. It will be finished in the next sign, probably. So let's go to the commentary first, 2717. He wants to convince them of the powerlessness of their idols. I said it. He wants to convince them of the powerlessness of his idols. Full stop. But he does not do it underhand. But he does not do it underhand. Full stop. He tells them that he is going to do something when once they are gone. When once they are gone and their backs are turned to the idols. To see if the idols can protect themselves. If the idols can protect themselves, the idols themselves, or even those who worship them, those who are getting protection and it from them, turned in their backs. Once they are gone and their backs are turned to the idols, dash, as much as to say that the idols are dependent on their care and attention. So they were rather taking good care and attention of the idols. Full stop. Apparently, the people are amused and want to see what he does. That's apparently. Let's mark the word apparently. Full stop. So they leave him to his own devices. So they leave him to his own devices. That's commentary 2717 to sign 57. We now go to sign 58. What does it say? فَجَعَلَهُمْ فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُزَازًا فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُزَازًا إِلَّا كَبِيرًا لَهُمْ. So he broke them to pieces. فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُزَازًا. So he broke them to pieces. إِلَّا كَبِيرًا لَهُمْ. To pieces. All into brackets all. So he broke them to pieces into brackets all. But the biggest of them, illa, but illa, the bigger illa, but kabiran lahum. But the biggest of them, kabiran lahum, لعلهم لعلهم إليه يرجعون لعلهم إليه يرجعون, that they might turn, into brackets, they might turn and address themselves to it. That they may turn and address themselves to it. In brackets, we remove the brackets, it reads, that they might turn to it. That they might turn to it. Commentary 2718. 2718. 2718. 2718. He was enacting a sin, comma, to make the people ashamed of worshipping senseless stocks and stones. Full stop. He left the biggest idol untouched and broke the others to pieces. Well, we see the reason why he did that. Eh? Hallelujah, friend of God. And left the others to pieces. As if a fight had taken place between the idols. Eh? And the biggest, as if a fight had taken place between the idols, and the biggest had smashed the others. Full stop. Would they turn to the surviving idol and ask him how it all happened? Oh, you see, so the reason is being given by the commentator here. Would they turn to the surviving idol and ask him how it all happened? So will his father and his people now come turn to the biggest but living idol? Let's use the word living in bracket and ask him, oh, how? What happened? Will they ask him? Oh my God. Okay, that's 2718. No, 2718 to sign 58. We now go to sign 50 for sign 57. My own commentary, I did it before in my previous episodes. Our Christian brothers don't take nonsense when it comes to worshiping of idols. Anybody who wants to join Christianity, any idol worshiper, that is, who wants to join Christianity, has all his idols destroyed, burnt by the Christians before they join Christianity. Yes. Gather them together, burn them like Abraham did. So you see, our Christian brothers are very close to Abraham, and Abraham is very close to God in their behavior, or in this behavior, the Christian brothers are very close to Abraham, who is a close friend of God. And so we now go to the sign, next sign, which is 59. You see the action of the parents. Kalu man fa'ala haza bi'ali hatina. Kalu man fa'ala haza bi'ali hatina. They said, who has done this to our gods? They are your gods. Who can do that to them? They are gods. Who can do that to them? Nobody can do that to them except Abraham and Nabi Ibrahim. لآلهتنا إنه لمن الظالمين. Who has done that to our gods? He must indeed be one of the unjust one. بمن الظالمين. He must be one of the unjust one. He must be one of the unjust one. Uh, there's no commentary to that. We go to sign 60. Sign 60. قالوا سمعنا قالوا سمعنا فتى قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم بك- بكال بك آه، بكال له إبراهيم قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يسرهم يكال not بكال يسرهم يكال له إبراهيم. They said, we heard a youth talk of them. He is called Abraham. That's the people of that's one of Abraham's people. Kalu Samina, we heard Fatan, a youth, sorry, Fatan, a youth. Yuskuruhum, Yukalu lahu Ibrahim. He is called Abraham. Yukalu lahu Ibrahim. He is called Abraham. Mm. Uh, Note 2719. 2719. Different groups of people are speaking. Full stop. Those who were not present at Abraham's speech in verse 57 they ask, who has done this? So the one who came in, the ones who asked who has done this didn't hear Abraham telling them he would destroy them in their absence. Mm, Okay. Those who were at once, no, those who were there, that's who were there. Where there is not there, where there is not there, but those who were, at once named him, whereupon a formal council of people was held and Abraham was arraigned. That was commentary 2719, 2719 to sign 60. We now go to sign 69 without a commentary. Kalu, no, yes, Kalu, فأتوا به قالوا فأتوا به على العين قالوا فأتوا به على عين الناس على عين الناس قالوا فأتوا به على عين الناس على عين الناس لعلهم يشهدون. They said, then bring him before the eyes of the people. The Enun Nas. Utu, bring him. Utu bihi, bring him. Ala Enun Nas. Before the eyes of the people, that they may bear witness. La Allahum yashhadun. That the people may bear witness that it was Abraham who did it. I don't know what kind of witness. The man already told you. Sorry, Abraham already told you that he's going to destroy them in your absence. So I don't know whether it's cowardice or what. Let's go to the next verse. The next sign, sign 62. Kalu a anta fa'alta haza bi alihatina ya Ibrahim. Ya Ibrahim. They said, Art thou, art is A-R-T, and O is Old English. They said, Art thou the one that did this to our gods? فَأَلَّ هَذَا لِآلِهَتِنَا. Who did this to our God? Oh, Abraham, Ya Ibrahim. Let's hear Abraham's answer. Kala, bal, fa'alahu kabiruhum. Kala, bal, fa'alahu kabiruhum. Abraham said, he said, Abraham is not about, he said, he here refers to Abraham. He said, Nay, but this was done by this, the biggest one. So he pointed to the biggest one that he left untouched and said, It is the biggest one who did it. Here, they couldn't ask the biggest one because he cannot speak, he cannot talk, he cannot listen. So they couldn't ask him. They should have asked the biggest one. What happened? Like we read earlier. They couldn't. So Abraham now came to tell them, no, it's the biggest one who did it. How Abraham knew it, I don't know. But he was being sarcastic here. Bal fa'alahu kabiruhum haza fa'as'aluhum in kanu. Yes. In kalu yantikun fa'as'aluhum fa'as'aluhum in kuntum yantikun. He said, Nay, this is done by the biggest one. Sign of exclamation. Ask them if they can talk. Say, ask them. You should ask the destroyed idols, I believe. Ask them if they can talk. فَأَسْأَلُهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا فَأَسْأَلُهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يُنْتِقُونَ. Pardon me, I think I didn't read it well. So this is the better reading. فَأَسْأَلُهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يُنْتِقُونَ. Ask them if they can talk. It's not Yuntikun, it's Yantukun. إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْتِقُونَ. Pardon me, verse again. فَأَسْأَلُهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْتِقُونَ. Ask them if they can talk. No commentary to that. We go to the next sign 64. فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم فقالوا إنكم أنتم ظالمين. فقالوا أنتم ظالمين. So they turned to themselves. فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم. They turned to themselves. فقالوا and said. إنكم أنتم ظالمين. إنكم أنتم ظالمين. And said, surely ye are the ones in the wrong. I don't know who they are speaking to now. But let's go to the commentary and see. Commentary 27:1. 27:1. Did we do commentary 27:20? Sorry, there is commentary to sign 62 before the 2:1. And that commentary is here. They ask him the formal question. They asked Abraham, the people asked Abraham the formal question. There was no mystery about it. The formal question, full stop. There was no mystery about it, full stop. He had already openly threatened to do something to the idols. And people who had heard his threats were there. People who had heard his threats were there. Full stop. He now continues his ironic taunt to the idol worshippers. Full stop. You ask me, it is idol worshippers. You ask me, you ask me. Abraham said, "You ask me, hmm, why don't you ask the idols?" Abraham said, "Then you ask me, why don't you ask the idols?" Hmm? Doesn't it look as if this big fellow has smashed the smaller ones in a quarrel? Abraham is still talking. If they do not ask the idols, they confess that the idols have not intelligence enough to answer. So in other words, he's trying to tell them, you can't ask the idols, because you know the idols have no intelligence to answer! Exclamation mark. This argument is developed in verses 67 to 60, in verses 64 to 67. Full stop. Note that the while the false worshippers laughed at his earnestness, he pays them out by a grim practical joke, which at the same time advances the cause of truth. So you can see that it was God Himself who gave Abraham the intelligence and the courage, the strength to do what he did. Mm. Like He gave Moses and Aaron the strength, like He strengthened them to confront Pharaoh, as well as the way and manner in which He strengthened Al-Masih, who is Jesus Christ, mm, with the Holy Spirit, Ruhu Qudus. So you see, God treated all the prophets the same, giving them the same strength, the same power, the same Holy Spirit, helping them with the same Holy Spirit. Uh-huh. So note that the false worshippers earnestness, laughed at his earnestness. He pays them back by a grim practical joke, which at the same time advances the cause of truth. And that was Commentary 2720, 2720 to sign 62, which I had missed earlier. A very important commentary which I had missed earlier. We now go to the next commentary, which is 2721 to sign 64. 2721. Abraham's biting irony cut them to the quick. Full stop. What could they say? They turned to each other. Faraju, where is it? Faraju ila anfusihum. They turned to each other. Full stop. Some among them thought he had the best of the argument. They were not keen on idolatry, and they told their fellows that it was useless arguing with Abraham. He had conquered them. That's a section of them. So that no, Abraham has conquered them. Let's take our hands up. Hands up. He has conquered us. Mm. Uh, he had he had he had the best of the argument. Uh, they were not keen on idolatry, and they told their fellows that it was useless arguing with Abraham. Very good. I've come to the point. They all bring their heads in shame. They all hang their heads in shame. Hang is Hung, spelled here Hung. They all hang their heads in shame, full stop. But presently, they thought they would face out Abraham. and take his words literally. Full stop. They said, "You know quite well that idols do not speak." They said into brackets, "You know quite well that idols do not speak!" Exclamation mark. Mm, and brackets close, inverted commas close. This was precisely what Abraham wanted them to say, and use wisdom to make them see that. Mm. This was precisely what Abraham wanted them to say, and he delivered his final blow. See note 2723 below. In other words, we haven't gotten there yet. We may go there. I think we will. 2723, and that is to sign 67. Let's go to the next sign, which is sign 65. Mm. Tuma, tuma tuma nukisu ala ru'isuhim kala. Nukisu ala ru'o, ala ru'usihum. Then were they confounded with shame, into brackets, they said, then were they confounded with shame, colon, mm, uh, thumma nukisu, thumma nukisu ala rusihum, lakat alimat ma haulai yantikun. Then they were confounded with shame. Then, into brackets again, column, into brackets, they said, "Thou knowest full well that these idols, in brackets, do not speak." They are coming to their senses. Without the brackets, they said was in bracket. They said is in brackets, and then idols is also in brackets. Without the brackets, it reads, "Then were they confounded with shame," semicolon. "Thou knowest full well that these do not speak." That now they're not saying to themselves. Commentary 2722, literally is confounded, against the words confounded. Literally, or against the phrase, then they were confounded. Let's go there, 2722. Literally, they were turned down in their heads. They were turned down. They were turned down on their heads. I'm sorry. Literally, they were turned down on their heads, which may suggest a metaphorical somersault, which may suggest a metaphorical somersault, i.e., they recovered from their dawning shame for idolatry and were prepared to argue it out with the youth Abraham. And were prepared to argue it out with the youth Abraham. He was a young man by then. At least compared to them. Full stop. But I think there is better authority for the interpretation I have adopted. So the commentator is now alluring that his commentary may not sound well to others. So he said, but I think there is better authority for the interpretation I have adopted. That was commentary 2722 to sign 65. We now go to sign 66. Kala said, who said? Abraham. Kala, afatabudu min dunillahi ma la yanfa'ukum shay'an. Kala, he said, أفتعبدوا من دون الله ما لا ينفعكم شيئا. Abraham said, but into brackets, Abraham, who said? Abraham. Abraham said, do ye then worship besides God? Tabudu min dunillahi, besides God. Things that can neither be of any good to you, nor do you harm, nor do you harm. Sorry, nor do you harm. Pardon, let me take it again. Do you worship besides God things that can neither be of any good to you, nor do you harm? Mala yanfa'ukum shay'an, do good to you. Wala yadurrukum. Wala yadurrukum. Let me take it in Arabic again. Kala afatabuduna. Pardon me, I made a mistake here. Kala afatabuduna min dunillahi ma la yanfa'ukum shay'an, of no good to you. Wala yadurrukum. Wala yadurrukum. Nor do you harm. Wala yadurrukum. Nor do you harm. No commentary to it. Let's go to 67 straight. Sign 67. Ufin lakum walima ta'buduna min dunillahi. This Abraham saying, he said, fie upon you. Fie is spelled F-I-E. Like I said, it is Old English. Fie upon you. Afin lakum. Fie upon you. Afin lakum. Walima ta'buduna min dunillahi. Fie upon you, and upon the things that ye worship besides God, min dunillahi. Afala ta'kilun. Have ye no sense? Afala ta'kilun. Have ye no sense? Abraham is now talking to them. He's conquered them. Have ye no sense? Viewers, I think we'll stop here. And when we come back, we shall go to Psalm 67, God willing. Probably to complete the section, which is section 5. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Au revoir. May God be with you all.